wake up. In fact, we found the clip, and then I want you to, in summation, close with how we help you, Representative Shea. For PrisonPlanet.tv viewers, we're going to have the video as well, but for radio listeners, here's the audio. She says, will martial law ever be declared? Here it is.
Law ever become a reality in America? Some fear any nuclear, biological, or chemical attack on U.S. territory might trigger just that. And as KSLA News 12's Jeff Farrell discovered, the clergy would help the government with potentially their biggest problem, us.
From my cold, dead hands.
Charlton Heston's famous declaration captures a truly American value, the overarching desire to protect our freedoms. But gun confiscation is exactly what happened during the state of emergency following Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. U.S. troops also arrived, something far easier to do even now thanks to last year's elimination of the 1878 Posse Comitatus Act. That forbid U.S. troops from policing on American soil. If martial law were enacted here at home, like depicted in the movie The Siege, easing public fears and quelling dissent would be critical. And that's exactly what the Clergy Response Team, as it's called, helped accomplish in New Orleans.
Jeff, the primary thing that we say to anybody is let's cooperate and get this thing over with, and then we'll settle the differences once the crisis is over.
All right, it goes on from there, and they talk about Romans 13, Hitler's favorite quote. Representative, your response to that?
It's shocking, and I think it underscores the concerns that we've been talking about for the last 10 minutes. People need to wake up. They need to call, they need to call their media sources. They need to call their legislators. Here in the state of Washington, the legislative hotline is 1-800-562-6000, and the chair of the committee where at least this joint memorial is up before is Representative Hunt's committee, Sam Hunt. And they need to let their legislators know that they've had enough. This is looking too much like the precursor to Nazi Germany and communist Russia, and that they want to have their legislators do something about it and reclaim sovereignty for states specifically and for the individuals on the ground that are paying taxes. So,
please give that phone number out again and the name of the chairman of the committee.
Yeah, the name of the chairman is Representative Sam Hunt, and the phone number again is 1-800-562-6000. And also, if anybody wants to reference the paper that I referred to earlier from the Office of Strategic Services, it's called the Nazi Master Plan, Annex 4, The Persecution of Christian Churches.
Absolutely. And, of course, the Senator Dodd 68 Gun Control Act was copied completely, but 2 words were changed from German because that Senator Dodd, not the current one, the other one, had been in the Nuremberg trials as a lawyer. So our gun laws are Nazi.
Yes, and I think there's a very famous quote from Hitler about that if you take away guns from the people, they really can't resist anymore. And a lot of folks don't understand that we have more than 3 checks and balances. There's more than just the legislative, judicial, and executive branch in our government. The 4th check and balance is well-armed people.
It is the cartridge box. We have the ballot box, the grand jury box, the jury box, and the cartridge box. And I got a family. I got a nice life. I don't want it to become physical. But this just isn't socialism or communism. This appears to be the most classic form of hardcore tyranny.
It really does. It really does. And and your listeners need to know there are a lot of state legislators that are very concerned. You're going to hear about more from them later this week, but there are a lot of state legislators that are concerned about this, and people are starting to wake up and do something about it.
Representative Shea, in closing, we really want to stay in touch with you as this develops. By the very nature of this being so over the top, I think that's what takes people back, and they just have trouble believing it. But I'm just glad that you're here and that you're following the oath you gave when you were in the Army as an officer, and that you're following the oath you gave as a state rep. And would you like to declare here on record in the spirit of 1776 that you're going to defend the Republic from enemies foreign and domestic?
I'm going to defend the Republic from enemies, all enemies, foreign and domestic.
All right. God bless you, and we're with you, sir.
God bless you. Thank you for having me on.
Take care. Yeah, this is gut check time, folks. This is real. This is real. We're going to have state rep after state rep after state rep on telling you this is the classic attack pattern of not just a tyranny, of a mass extermination tyranny. It has a signature. It has a wavelength. It has a architecture. This is the most tyrannical architecture we've ever seen. It's not just like a Nazi one or a Soviet one. It is the most vicious attack profile we've ever seen. The most sneaky, the most backstabbing, the most duplicitous.